After weeks of waiting for the inevitable, football is finally feeling the ruthless impact of the coronavirus. The outbreak began in China at the end of 2019, but by February 2020, it has spread to Europe and now the rest of the world. It's been classed as a pandemic by the World Health Organization. The Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, MLS, all are feeling the cancellation effects of COVID-19 by mid-March. So what can football fans expect in the coming weeks and months ahead? Here are 10 ways that the coronavirus will change the sports landscape as we know it. Footballers falling ill with the virus. Already we're seeing the likes of Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi and Juventus's Daniele Rugani being confirmed as having the coronavirus. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. More and more cases will come to light, and it will become a sad reality that the flu-like symptoms of the virus, rampant among the wider population, will be reflected in the football world. Thankfully, the mortality rate of the virus for people under the age of 50 is very, very low, so players without underlying health issues should make a full recovery. Legends of the game at risk. Unlike the modern footballers still playing, icons and legends of the game over the age of 70 are at far greater risk of succumbing to the coronavirus in a serious way. Elderly people in affected countries have been strongly advised to distance themselves from the public where possible to minimise the potential for serious illness or worse, death. It would unfortunately be a huge surprise if no renowned former footballer is not a tragic victim of the virus, but hopefully various governments' reactions can mitigate the worst case scenarios. Liverpool might not be crowned league champions. It started as a running joke. Manchester United fans wondering aloud whether Liverpool's long-awaited debut Premier League win could be kiboshed by COVID-19. But the fears of Liverpool supporters have grown and grown, because as of the Premier League suspension on March 13th, they still haven't been crowned league champions. Despite an obscene 25-point lead and having only failed to win twice in 29 matches, they will still have to wait to see how the coronavirus pandemic develops. Realistically, however, it would be cruel and unfair not to give Liverpool the title. Unfortunately for Jurgen Klopp's side though, it could happen behind closed doors without another match being played. Promotion and relegation chaos. The coronavirus outbreak is unprecedented in the modern football era. No major European league has had to decide what would happen with promotion and relegation if the league is disrupted 3/4 of the way through a campaign. But would it not be cruel to write off around 30 games of football because a minority of matches haven't been finished? Even if the leagues restart, completing every single game before the start of the new season will take a complete rewriting of the rulebook. Whatever happens, it's guaranteed to cause tantrums and tears. We could see playoffs between teams to decide who goes up or down. We could even see promotion and relegation scrapped entirely for a season. Your guess is as good as ours. UEFA'S competition conundrum. The bigwigs at UEFA have two tournaments of very different sorts. On the one hand, you have the Champions League and Europa League, and on the other, you have the European Championships. If they want to finish the Champions League and Europa League, they will need to decide what on earth to do with Euro 2020. Move it, lose it, or sacrifice their cash cow entirely. Even in a best case scenario of European football being back to normality in May, finishing it at the same time as competing for teams' attention with league football will be a colossal fight they will probably lose. Allowing UCL and UEL matches to be played into June will at least allow the competitions to be completed. But then, where would that leave the Euros? Euro 2020, a pandemic's dream. When UEFA conceived this year's Euros, never in their worst nightmares would they have imagined it being disrupted by a global pandemic set to kill tens of thousands of people. But here we are, and there's no denying that the format of the 2020 finals, with 12 host cities and fans hopping across the continent, could not be a better breeding ground for the coronavirus. If UEFA doesn't have the balls to stop the final, governments will. It's that simple. The weak spot for UEFA here is that no one country has invested in the finals so much with infrastructure that they can't afford to tell football to get lost. The lives of their own citizens will trump an international ball game all day long. moving the Euros to 2021. Because if they can't play the European Championships this year, what does UEFA do? The best solution could be to move the tournament to next summer. After all, there's no major men's international tournament in 2021, so theoretically it could work. UEFA already has a Women's Euros planned in England, but that doesn't start until mid-July. Back-to-back UEFA finals could be a great summer for the sport in 2021, especially after what could be a bleak year for football in 2020. Tokyo Olympics cancellation. Of course, it's not just football that's hurting in the sports world. The biggest sporting event on the planet, the Summer Olympics, is a serious doubt. While the men's football teams send under-23 players with a sprinkling of veterans, the tournament is a major title in the women's game. And unlike the men's Euros, moving the Tokyo Olympics to next summer would cause havoc with teams, as the women's Euros is set to take place from July until August. The fact it's fixed in one nation, Japan, and is taking place 6 weeks later than Euro 2020 could help save the Olympics from cancellation, but there's no question that it will be a close call. Sweeping pre-season changes. The richest clubs in the world are used to jet-setting around the planet in pre-season trips to play money-spinning friendlies, but the coronavirus has already ended some clubs' plans to hop from continent to continent, and it would be extremely surprising not to see most European clubs sticking to home soil in 2020. With various season date shuffles, the actual pre-season window could be shorter than ever before too. All that remains to be seen, depending on how quickly and efficiently the coronavirus outbreak is countered. Huge transfer window ramifications. There's a long way to go until the summer transfer window, but the coronavirus will reshape the off-season spell as we know it. If club football spills into late May and early June, organisations will be faced with the possibility of losing players as they try to finish their own season. What would make a lot more sense would be to move the start of the transfer window to a later date, and potentially change when the new season starts too, if absolutely necessary. So there are our 10 things. Let us know in the comments section what you think will happen. There are no right answers in this unprecedented new era.